Hello, I'm a counselor obtaining my doctorate in marriage and family therapy. These last few weeks, I've tried to provide you with some tools and techniques to help you during these difficult times. Today, I want to talk to you about your children. Sometimes your children may be experiencing some anxiety and they aren't able to explain that to you or talk to you about it because they can't articulate what is going on. They might know that they're feeling scared or sad or worried about specific things, but they might not realize how to express the feelings that they have. And so a really good way to be able to help facilitate them in explaining how they're feeling is through play. Many times children, when using toys, Barbies, cars, dinosaurs, Legos, they will create scenarios in which they actually might be feeling themselves in their world. And by creating those scenarios, you could notice or recognize possibly some of the fears that they may be having. So another way, though, is for you to sit down on the floor and get out those Barbies or dinosaurs or cars or Legos and just let them sit in silence, which sometimes can be hard, but eventually they'll start talking, or maybe you could start by creating a scenario and see where they go with that. And then maybe later, afterwards, allow them that opportunity to play and create those scenarios and those thought processes. And maybe later you could say to them, hey, when we were playing with your dinosaurs or your dolls or your Legos, I heard you say this. Is this something that you might be worried about? And then I have an activity that I'm going to share with you in a little bit that you might be able to do with your child. But if you create little pockets, if you will, of things that you worry about, you could do a pocket of things you worry about a lot, or things you worry about a little, or things you worry about sometimes, or things you don't worry about. And then you could create cards from your play. And you could ask your child, okay, so tell me, when we were playing and you talked about this, is this something that you worry about a lot? And then if it is, then you would put it in the pocket of things you worry about a lot. Is this something that you worry about a little? And if it is, then you would put that in the pocket of things that you worry about a little. That way, then you have, and your child has, a visual of things that they might be feeling a little bit worried or anxious about. And then you together can talk to them about how to help eliminate some of that worry and help them navigate through some of their feelings and emotions. If you're noticing that they have a lot of worries and a lot of concerns, then it might be time to reach out to your local mental health provider, and they can help you facilitate, and they can facilitate how to help your child deal with some of that anxiety that they may be experiencing. So look for that activity that I'm going to post in a little bit so that you can understand what I'm talking about when I say the pockets and the scenarios. But taking that time to play with your child in silence without saying anything allows them to have that creative mindset, which then could possibly bring out some of their own fears. Now, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just, this is, how they want to play. But sometimes you can find some of those anxieties and fears through their play. Another thing for older children is to use card games. And maybe you just not say anything, and that silence becomes awkward, and then they will then start possibly talking about some things that might be on their mind or bothering them. And maybe not, maybe they just are happy to sit in silence, but it's a great way to get your kids talking. So as always, if you're feeling sad, depressed, lonely, overwhelmed, stressed, please reach out to your local mental health providers. They are here to assist you, not only now, but always. And in our area, we have a local 24-hour hotline. Make sure that you know what that number is in your area as well, in case that you need some resources or support on the other end of the line.